You must be delighted with the result at the weekend and to get off to such a great start. How much confidence has that given everyone at the club?
Yes, definitely. After the cup run, the performance and the result was magnificent. But we're old enough and experienced enough to know we're only one game in, 35 to go. So it's a good start, but that's all it is. We need to build on it and get a platform for hopefully a little bit of momentum.
And you yourself must have been delighted to see Lawrence Shankland get the 4 goals in the game.
I think the full stadium was delighted, and especially the dressing room, delighted to get a round of applause after the match in the dressing room. And Lawrence is very level-headed guy. Back in Monday morning, we done our post-match video meeting, and then it was just preparation for Partick on the Friday night. So it was sort of all forgotten about and concentration on the prep for the Friday night. But it was magnificent, as was the other 10 on the pitch as well.
And obviously with that comes expectation as well. And do you feel that he's the sort that can handle that this season?
Definitely. He scored goals for the last 2 years, a lot of goals in the last 2 seasons. So I do feel that he's mentally ready to really kick on. He's already shown how good he is. He's got nothing at all to prove to us as a coaching staff or in the dressing room. So there will be a little bit of pressure in other areas of the pitch getting goals. So it's not all just down to Lawrence Shankland to score all the goals.
How much does it lay down a marker that both him and the team mean business this season?
Well, hopefully it's laid down a marker for the first day, but as I said before, we're only one game in, so we need to do that continuously every week. Every week we need to treat it like a cup final, and it'll be no different come Friday night. With Partick getting 1 point for their opening game, their first home game of the season, we're under no illusions how hard a game it's going to be, because they've got some real good talented players.
And with that game coming on a Friday night, how important is it that you make the most of that and put pressure on the other sides going into the weekend?
Yes, exactly. I think it's a good chance for us to get up to the 6-point barrier before the other games. But we just need to concentrate really on ourselves and not look over our shoulders or by our sides. We just need to concentrate on ourselves, get the game plan right, and then hopefully we go and get a good positive result.
Did you read too much into any of the other results on the opening day of the weekend? Obviously Dundee were playing on the Friday night against Dunfermline, they drew. Do you look too much into any of the other results?
No, it's far too early in my opinion. It's far too early to be, as I said, looking over your shoulder or who's next to you. I think it's so important to concentrate on yourselves, players individually, coaching staff, just concentrating on the dressing room and our own team at the moment, and trying to just build a little bit of momentum. The club is, for the last couple of seasons, maybe been carried away, and a little bit of complacency's kicked in all over. So we're determined as a coaching staff not to let that come in. So it's the old cliche, one game at a time.
Dundee United have, I suppose, set their stall out quite early with that weekend's performance against Inverness. Do you think it's possible that Dundee United could stay top of the league throughout the whole season?
Well, we'll just need to wait and see. I think it's, as I said, game at a time. It's been a good start meaning just one game. So we need to build on it. We need to get a little bit of momentum going, get confidence sky high all round. I think the weekend would have helped that confidence wise. So it's all down to Friday night now. Friday night, every game, if you want to win the league, you need to treat like a cup final, and I think that's the way we need to go about things. So the preparation's been spot on from the coaching staff's point of view, and it's just hoping we start the game well and get a positive result.
And what challenges do you think Partick will present on Friday?
Yes, well, there's a good cup campaign. Probably with the expectations that they've got, they'll want promotion. They got a point last week, so this is their first home game of the season. So it's we're under no illusions how hard a game it's going to be. They've got some players that can win games on their own, being one of my ex-teammates, Kenny Miller, that I know very well. He's a leader on and off the pitch, and he'll help the boys through, the younger boys through as well. So they've got one or two other players that can cause problems, so we're going to need to be on our game to get a result.
We've spoken about the 4 goals that Warren scored on Saturday there, but is it maybe worth talking how pleasing it was, not just that he scored the 4 goals, but his conversion rate for the opportunities he had?
Yes, I think that sums Lawrence up. Even if he misses a couple of chances, he always puts himself in that area. He's not scared to miss again. It tells you a lot about his mentality. And obviously the talk's going to be about Lawrence Shankland because he scored 4 goals, but he had Lewis Perry up there with him, endless running, causing the centre halves all sorts of problems, setting up 2 goals, and he was unbelievable. And I think it's a credit to the manager. He put in, with the young players that we've got in the team, the young players that are getting bled into the team. Chris Moncrief, 16, Banks, 17, 18, Chalmers, all these young boys are getting game time, and it's hard to get them game time when your expectations are to win the league. So I think it's a credit to the manager, and it's a credit to the staff that are bringing these young players through, because I think the club's in a really good place just now, and I think it's quite exciting times for the club and the fans that we've got some of our own, so to speak, coming in and making an impact, and that's the biggest thing. It's all right coming in, but making an impact like Lewis Perry done at the weekend, I think it's fantastic. But back to Lawrence, yes, that's just what it is. That's what he's done, especially for the last 2 seasons, and we're delighted to have him on board. And he's such a level-headed guy that coming on Monday, as I said before, it was focus on Partick Thistle on Friday night.
And a slightly different setup for the game. Is that going to continue into the game at Partick Thistle with Lewis and Lawrence up top, obviously playing a 4-4-2?
Well, that'll be up to the manager. That's the manager's call, and it's probably a hard call to make, but that's why he's the manager. I think we've had a look at Partick. I've watched them myself a couple of times in their cup campaign, and as we say, they've got players that can hurt you. So the game plan will be to try and stifle those players and get our passing game going and get our game winners on the ball.
Looking at Partick Thistle, you mentioned Kenny Miller obviously as someone who you feel could pose a threat to Dundee United on Friday night. But surely as a team as a whole, there will be other areas of concern to Dundee United from there.
There is certainly other areas of concern. Set plays forward are quite dangerous, with big centre half McGinty and Williamson at right back. They're a bit of presence. They're well organised. They like to pass it out for the back. They've got a bit of pace up front. They've got Cardinal out wide, who can deliver good set plays and crosses. So, as you say, we're well aware it's not going to be an easy game. With them want to lay down a marker with the home fans, as we wanted to do at the weekend there. It being a home game for them, so it's going to be a difficult game, but we're prepared for it and we'll be ready.
With the new owners having come into Dundee United and a fairly stable financial background at Tannadice, does the reporting yesterday that Partick Thistle are withdrawing their team bus reflect on the finances of some of the other clubs that are in this division?
It's a bit of a hard question to answer. I think the thing that we've told the players and the coaches meeting we had this morning, it's concentrating ourselves. It's all we can do is concentrate ourselves. It doesn't matter what any other club is doing or what's happening to them or how much money they've got. We've got to concentrate solely on ourselves, and the dressing room needs to concentrate on ourselves individually and collectively. So it's not really anybody's business what goes on anywhere else.
There's some suggestion that Macedonian striker Stoyanovski could be coming in on loan. Is there any truth in that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Any news on the other situation with the winger that was talked about last weekend?
We're hoping to get one more in. We're always trying to improve the squad while obviously the window's open. So we'll just wait and see how that goes just now. There's no real news of yet, to be honest.
One last thing was to do with the 50th anniversary of playing in Tangerine. I believe Friday is the 50th anniversary of the first time Dundee United played Tangerine. Is that significant?
Is that right? I honestly did not know that. It's the first I've heard that. Yes, it's very significant. I think that's something we can use in the dressing room, as well as a little bit of motivation to give the fans a little bit back, and hopefully they turn up in their numbers on Friday night so we can give them something to shout about.
How's the team news? Is there any injuries or anything?
No severe injuries, no. Osman and Peter Pollitt, hoping to get them back in the next week or two. We don't want them rushed back, we want them back fully fit and ready to come straight into the squad. So we're just hoping. Everything else, yeah, we're pretty sound.